Okay, the first thing I want to establish is that all of us know that the flood really happened. And the purpose of the flood wasn't just the sins of men. It was that these watcher class angels had come down, where we get all the stories of the mythological stuff with Thor and Zeus. These are not stories, where we get to think about the clash of the Titans. In the day of Jared, when Jared, one of the descendants of Adam, in that day these 200 class or watcher angels came down and they slept with women. Their children were giants. Their children, they taught their children things. They taught men all types of stuff, from abortions, taught women makeup and how to allure men, how to catch spell, how to do. If you do not believe it, I'm going to tell you how the world was. We have been taught through scientists telling us that we're the smartest ones, that the people back then were dumb and all that. The people back then were smarter, they lived longer, and there were other beings here. And this is what the New World Order is doing. This is what they're setting up. They're setting up for the gods of the old world to come back. And I'm going to tell you something. They were bound, according to the book of Enoch, they were bound for 70 generations. And if you add up the time for the flood, they said it's supposed to be in the 1900s. Now, in the 1900s, we were still running around. The most powerful thing we had was steam and horses, right? And the next thing you know, in the next 60 years, we supposed to went to the moon. We got rockets. We got all these technologies and all these things. And most of this technology has not been good for mankind. It's actually to put mankind into slavery up under the dictators of the world. There are so many stories about the Anunnaki. I was talking about they telling the ancient aliens tell you that these are aliens. Yes, they are aliens. They are these things that come down from heaven and mess with man. And man made man a slave. And the reason why they were able to enter in was because of one man. One man. Totally. One man. Not two, three men. One man. You hear what I'm saying? Not a bunch of men. But one man's sin open the door not only for Lucifer, but for Lucifer and a third of his angels to come in this realm and rule. And that's what they've been doing. And a lot of people don't understand this. You hear what I'm saying? A lot of people think this is, all they just fantasy. But they have found the bones of the giants. They have found all the evidence. They got monuments that no man could do, and they know it. They don't even still have the technology. And you let some of these ignorant black people tell you that black, no. There are some monuments that men could not be, or not men that we know of now. But I want to get into right now this enemy that we are facing and the things that this enemy has done. Let's go to, we're going to go to 1 Peter, the 5th chapter, and verse 8. Read that.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
So, this enemy we're facing, number one thing we got to say this, right? I know we have become our own enemies because of our own lies, our own tricks, our selfishness, our pride of life, our lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. But we have a real enemy that hates us. And I'm talking about mankind. It has nothing to do with no race. If you don't believe me, this enemy created racism. Racism was created by a spiritual being and introduced in through people that worship this spiritual being, who honor this spiritual being. We've been taught that America worships God. America worships the Queen of Heaven. It's all on her monuments. It's on everything that she works with. It's all on her dollar bill. It's all on everything about her. And actually, when they put her eagle up, it's for the phoenix. And represents this bird that's supposed to be a fire, that's supposed to be able to go down and be able to burn and come back from the ashes. And this is what they believe in. And what you do not know, that these people have been deceived by an enemy that is far way advanced, not only in so-called technology, but spiritual principles and things that have to do with what governs the world. As I said, if you read, everybody need to get the book of Enoch and start reading it, because in the book of Enoch it reveals to you that angels taught men war and weapons and technology. The angels taught men how to release plague, sickness, and disease. The angels taught men how to do gene splicing and crossbreed of things, until Yahweh himself said, now they had contaminated all flesh. He was talking about animals and plants. And the ones that they did not get a chance to contaminate were the ones that Noah took aboard the ark with him. Because Noah, people are talking about how righteous Noah was. What made Noah righteous, that Noah did not get into any of that teaching. Noah followed the Most High. Noah did not fool around with the angels, nor their offspring, nor anything. He did not get involved in those things. And his genes were still straight from Adam, had nothing entered into it. The rest of mankind had been, I'm talking about, been spliced with stuff, with these things called saber men, which were men that had men body and lion head. And a lot of things that you see in Egypt that people tell you, oh, they're just a painting and all that. They had men that had heads of the jackal, heads of wolves. They had things that were roaming around here that you, if you knew was here, you would say, well, there is a God. And it was the mercy of God to destroy this stuff and that technology. This is where all the wars in the world have been fought about overseas, about this ancient technology. Because they want it back. They're the ones who've been sitting there. Do you know when NASA was started? It was started by German people who were occulted, who worshiped the devil, and they did a sacrifice right there where they first started NASA. And the first thing they saw was a flying saucer. And if anybody thinks there are any beings from some other galaxy, you're out of your mind. The only beings that are up there and they come from there are called fallen angels. And angels and demons are all different classes. And even inside of the angels, you have so many different classes of angels that it would take another chapter to just talk about them. But we're going to go to Ephesians, the 6th chapter. And I want to expose this enemy. Ephesians, the 6th chapter, and verse 11. When you get it, please read it. Ephesians 6 and 11.
Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
So in these things we see that the enemy is who? The devil, Satan. But with Satan, he has other entities that follow him, that obey him, underlings, right? He took a third of the angels. There are cherubim, seraphim, and there are these things called archons. There are angels we know nothing about. There is a host in heaven that's called the Holy Council. Do you hear me? We have, our little bitty minds can't even wrap around the things that are going on. But this enemy, you got to realize this enemy, this cherub here used to sit before the throne of God, was beautiful and splendor, right? Every time we see the devil, we see him with horns and pitchforks and all this stuff, right? That's to keep you from knowing the true essence of who he is and what he do. Now go on, what does it say? In verse 12 there.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So was that, did that say anytime Democrats, Republicans, liberals, racists, and all that? Had nothing to do with that, right? Because behind those things are evil entities motivating people, making one set of the tribes of Adam to think they're greater than the other sets of tribes of Adam, or think they're better, right? And that's foolishness. And the same trick that he's doing with a lot of people, well, we were built in the image and likeness of God, then I'm a God, right? How can you be that? In the fall, this is what Adam lost in the God, and why he ended up under the footstool of Satan and the rest of these angels, because he lost the part of God that made him like God. through sin. You cannot be like the Creator. There is no sin in the Creator. The Creator has no sin. The Creator has the only thing the Creator hates is evil. He's holy. He's righteous. He's beyond your comprehension. The Creator is the only one that's holy, right? Adam was created holy and perfect. It's when he decided to disobey and become a traitor just like Lucifer. He fell out of his place and he became cursed to where he worked the earth. And the earth did not always give back a harvest to him because it gave back thorns and thistles. You hear me? Because of his rebellion and disobedience against the Most High Yahweh. And I'm going to tell you something, and what people do not understand is how devils get in, because the scripture said he goes around as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. This is how he gets in, because people don't want to worship Yahweh as who he say he is. So they come up and they make up their own God. They make up their own religion. They come up with their own traditions. And what he does, after you keep rejecting him, he turns you over to those things. And those things are laden with evil spirits. That's how evil spirits get in. And they motivate people. If you talk to any of these so-called scientists, you'll find out most of the stuff they learned while they were meditating and something told them. Ascended masters, people who talk to the dead. Those things are demons. They are familiar spirits. Yes, these spirits. See, what you do not know about the spirits of the giants, their physical body died, but they were trapped here. They seek people to get in. They try to get in animals, anything. These are the evil spirits that hunt and plague men. And there's different levels of these ascended beings that we have no idea of. See, because everybody think ghosts and angels are the same thing and demons are the same thing. No, they're not. Fallen angels are way more powerful than their children, the bastard children. Fallen angels, they can do stuff that you can't imagine. And that's why you have to put on the whole armor of God when you are fighting them. It is necessary. There is no other weapon that's going to win against them. Because I can prove to you, right now they got fluoride in the water, been putting fluoride in the water. I know over 50 years telling everybody it was all right, and fluoride is poison. They put it in a toothpaste. They have been putting stuff in food that you can't even pronounce. And there's so much genetic modifying food. They have been sending waves out that they know mess with people in their sleep, beta waves and all these things. They're using technology, whether you want to believe what the Creator is telling you or not. These beings have released stuff on this earth you have no idea of. And you can keep playing. I'm telling people that marches, their rallies is not going to do anything. It is not even affecting them. It don't even affect the natural rulers that they use to rule the world. I'm talking about the meat sacks that they use. It don't even affect them. Nothing we doing. The only power we have against them is to trust the Most High. But that's the number one thing nobody want to believe. They want to believe what's the propaganda. Everybody love these movies that are coming out. And most of these movies are telling half truth. There is real witchcraft being worked on the hearts and minds of people all over this planet. It's in the music. It's in the television. They control what come on television, so the news is what they want you to know, what they want you to think. The schooling system is owned by them. They teach you what they want you to teach. Give you the knowledge they want you to give. And they took the word of God and perverted it. And now we got these people, and I'm not going to even start talking about them, who call themselves a holy people, who in fact worship Lucifer. Most people in these religious organizations are worshiping Lucifer and don't even know that they are worshiping him and honoring him. Because this is how they have been fooled and blinded. When you reject the love of Yahweh and you don't want his sacrifice, you don't want to believe in him, he's not going to force you to believe. He's going to let you believe what you want to. And that's how doorways are opening. That's how darkness is entering in. People believe in their gun. People believe in their mamas and their daddies. And I'm telling you, if you believe in anything physical, you're fooled. You've been bamboozled. The only thing I believe and trust is the power that got me out that wheelchair. The power when I died on the operating table that brought me back. Now I'm not telling you I have been 100% the way that I should, but I acknowledge that Yeshua, that Jesus, what they said or not, what they want to believe, but they can say he's a fairy tale, but I am alive because of him. I was in a wheelchair and his power got me out that wheelchair. So I don't care what nobody else believes or how they believe it, because he's illustrated this over and over in my life, right? Personally. See, we serve a creator who is beyond this thing. See, our problem, we don't want to believe and be faithful to death. That's how a lot of people are going to end up with the mark of the beast, because they're already in the system. They're already under control of the system. The fluoride that we take into the water attacks what's called the pineal gland and causes these crystals to get in it, right? That's blocking. We don't even use a third of our brain. These doctors still don't understand fully how the human body works. And if you ever notice the medicine, if medicine was right, should it be called practicing? It should be doing if it was right, if they knew what was going on. And to prove you, most of all the medicine they give you have side effects that are going to mess you up. But if you go back to the natural herbs of the scripture, those natural herbs don't even have side effects. Did y'all know that? Only side effect of the natural herb is it heals you. It's good for your body. But we are being poisoned by beings who care nothing about us, who wants the only thing they want to do is slaughter the image of Adam and get rid of that, because that reminds them of the place they fell from. And they hate you. They're the one who produces hate. I'm telling you this, the people who sponsor the Ku Klux Klan are the same people who sponsor whatever was that black organization called?
Black Panther.
No. NAACP. Sponsored them. Same people. Same people. Same people in the World War II sponsored all sides of the war, because they are influenced by their God. Lucifer, the devil, the dragon, whose only job on this planet is to steal, kill, and destroy. Everybody needs to know that the I am is not involved. People asking what the I am is. The I am is not involved because man has put him out. Man has made his own God, made himself to be God, and he has rejected the great creator. And what we see happening on this planet is what from the rejection of mankind and the gods of men is what they're getting. Their gods. Not the creator, not the father of all spirits, the creator of the heaven and earth. They're getting their gods. And their gods showing them what they want. Their bloodshed. The blood of their children. The blood of their children's children. Utter destruction. Their gods want them to be just like them, to be damned. To be cast out, to be evil, full of hatred, to be full of witchcraft and lust. And this is what we have given ourselves over to. And we wonder why we're going through the things we're going through, because what we need to do is realize we need Yahweh. We need Yahweh's sacrifice. Yahweh, guess what? His law has not changed. Man's law changed all the time. Men go with what make them feel good. They don't go with what's right and just and honorable. They're despicable, wicked, and treacherous. Thinking about right now, so many of them thinking about how they can get over on people, how they can kill people, how they can get this and how they can get that. And nobody wants to surrender to the law of Yahweh because they think the law. And if you listen to these preachers, you'll really get messed up because these preachers will tell you the law is done away with because of grace and mercy. But the Bible says God forbid. The law is still active. The law was put here to show us that we were a sinner and we was away from Yahweh and we needed Yahweh. We needed his instruction. We needed his teaching. We needed his guidance. And that's what we have rejected. And this is how Satan and his spirits are ruling in this world. And what you are seeing is the actions of the God of this world, the prince of the air. And he's the one doing the things that he's doing. Now, mankind has an ability to know the difference between right and wrong to choose. They become the vessels of darkness instead of being vessels of light, letting the devil and his false angels in, bringing them back in as the gods of this world. But what they don't know, when that bottom pit opened up, the stuff that they summons out, right? The saying is they friends, right? Give them this technology, is only giving them that so that they can devour them, so that they can be just like them and be destroyed. We better wake up. It's time to come up out of the system of the beast. And that's the way the beast think. And we need not to do that anymore. Well, I've been telling people we need to pray and ask the Spirit of God to talk to you. Ask the Spirit of God to walk with you because he's real. The problem is you have shut him out. And that's what all these poisons in this food do, right? To shut him out of your life. And that's what you need to realize is what's happening right now.